Morning, everyone. Josh here, Solopreneur Grind. It is the SG Daily, number 43 for Tuesday, April the 23rd, 2019. And I know what you might be thinking. Josh, where the hell have you been? Well, I was home for the holidays and was thinking about stuff. And what I realized, and I'll get to my thinking and where I was and why I was doing it in a second. But what I realized after planning to record today's daily is that you take breaks from creating content for probably one of three reasons, or I think one of three legitimate reasons. Number one, obviously there's like an emergency, you get injured, your family member gets injured, or some health risk, something like that, a good friend, something bad happens, it, gets in the way of creating content. That's number one. So big emergency. And then I was thinking of other reasons why you should take a break from creating content if you're serious about building a brand or a business or whatever it may be. And I thought of two other good reasons. Number one is if you're burnt out from creating it, which does not apply to me this weekend. It might apply to me at some point in the future, but that's not the reason why I took a break. So let's say you're doing daily videos Monday to Friday, every morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and posting the audio onto your podcast, and you're doing it for like 8 months straight, and you're also working full-time, you're trying to build a business, you're trying to build a brand on the side, whatever, and you're just burnt out, right? You need a break, you need a week off, you need a vacation, whatever. I think that's probably a pretty legitimate reason. Happens to a lot of people. And, I talk a lot about prioritizing your time and what to work on and stuff like that. And I definitely think that you should put in a lot of hard work, but if you're getting burnt out, you're getting burnt out and you need a break. Otherwise, it's going to affect everything else that you're doing during the day. So that's reason number two. Reason number three that I think you should take a break is if you need to step back from what you're doing and get and kind of think about it and observe it and evaluate it for the purposes of how you're going to move forward. And that's maybe kind of like ethereal and kind of blah, blah, rah, rah type language. But what I mean by that is sometimes you get so caught up in your business or your routine or your testing for X amount of time, but it's hard to really evaluate it while you're in it the whole time. So for example, if you're recording a daily audio and video Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern live on YouTube and uploading it to your podcast, then it's tough to really evaluate it and take a step back and be objective about it if you're doing it every day. So I went home last weekend, as you know, and Friday was a holiday and Monday was a holiday. And it was kind of awkward filming at home. I was in my mom's basement filming, and it was just weird. And then I was at a point where I was trying to reevaluate my YouTube strategy and my YouTube game in general. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the Friday and the Monday off. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to look at the data. I'm going to journal about it. All the stuff that I kind of preach on, tips to help you kind of evaluate your own stuff and to, best practices, things like that is what I did over the weekend. Spoke to someone who's big in the YouTube game to get advice on what he thinks I should do. And it was really good because when you take 4 days off as opposed to 2 days off over the weekend, like 2 days, it's not even 2 days off because on Sunday I'm planning what to say on Monday. So it's like a day and a half off. And I never really took a step back, looked at the data and all that good stuff and thought about what I want to do moving forward. So I took the 4 days off, Friday to Monday. It's now Tuesday. Back on the daily. The daily's going to stay. I was tossing it back and forth in my head because what I think I need to do, and I'm just going to be totally authentic here, is up the YouTube game in the sense that the way I do it now is I do 5 dailies a week, and they're pretty, I definitely think about the content ahead of time, but it's a little off the cuff. I kind of like just speaking freely. And usually when I'm speaking about these things, it's because I have thought of them in my head prior. So I was thinking about this yesterday about, I took a break. What should I talk about? Well, I should talk about why I took a break. And then I was thinking about the different reasons you should take a break. And so I'm not kind of flying by the seat of my pants, but because of the nature of the daily, and because of the fact that I don't know how to edit videos, the post-production process is not very strong on YouTube. So, and then I spoke to someone who was like, if you really want to grow your YouTube channel, like, yes, the daily is a good idea, but you need to do better post-production. You need to get better with your headlines, your descriptions, your thumbnails, stuff like that. But doing all of that 5 days a week is kind of tough while I'm running 2 other businesses. So where am I getting at? Long story short, the daily is definitely going to stay. I like it. Hopefully those who watch it like it and listen to it, watch or listen to it like it. But I'm also going to add in a few other pieces of video content. This is strictly video. I don't think I'm going to put it up on the podcast because it's going to have some more production in terms of visuals, in terms of better headline, in terms of better description. And that's not as important for you as a watcher. It's more important for you as a potential content creator, because I'm trying to tell you the strategies I'm using to grow a following on YouTube. And so headlines are so key, descriptions are key in terms of, search engine optimization, grabbing people's attention, getting them to click on your video, as well as creating a thumbnail. Right now, I don't really make a thumbnail other than a weird picture of myself. But the point of that is it's a daily, right? Unless you're dedicating a lot of time or money to it, a daily is going to be really hard to produce really well. So for now, I'm going to keep the daily as is because I like creating the content. Hopefully you guys like listening to it and watching it. And then I'm also going to add 1 or 2 pieces of higher quality YouTube video per week starting next week, because I have to record them this week and then produce, do the post-production stuff. So anyways, that's where I'm coming from. And one of the reasons why I was able to come to that conclusion, took the break, took 4 days off, took a step back, said, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? What do I need to do to get there? What's working right now? What's not working right now? How can I make things better? So if you've been in a routine for a long time, even 2, 3, 4 months doing the same thing, maybe it's not working or maybe it's working slowly, a good strategy is take a step back, talk to someone else, a third party. They'll give you a lot of insight, especially someone who knows their stuff. So I talked to a guy who really knows his stuff about YouTube. If you're trying to grow your Instagram, talk to someone with 100,000 Instagram followers or whatever, 50,000, or listen to my recent podcast episode with Carson Lee, who has 25,000 on Instagram, because he shares some tips. You can go to solopreneurgrind.com/podcast and find that one. That's a really good episode. But anyways, that explains the break. Hopefully it makes some sense. And make sure to subscribe either to YouTube or the podcast. You can click the button right here where I'm pointing if you're watching. And expect the daily tomorrow, just like every other day as usual. This is it for Tuesday. Hope you're having a good week. Short week this week. So that means it'll probably be busy. But anyways, busy is good. Have a good day. Talk to you tomorrow.